What a lovely view from here, man. There is a lake nearby too. Sweet. Anyway, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are and when watching this, welcome to a new vlog. If you're new to my channel, you must be wondering what is he doing on a DIAVEL and where is he? Well, I'm in Pune on my way to Thamani to take this DIAVEL V4 for a short test ride for the day and also get some first ride impressions on it. And man, I've had it since last night, so I had a little commute in the city. And first thing that you'd notice on this bike when you turn it on is how this sounds, considering that I'm a Multistrada V4 Pikes Peak owner, which has the same engine. Maybe the only difference is a bit of tuning here and there, but this sounds growly. I mean, there's a test ride bike which did 167 kilometers, but it already feels more bassy than my Pikes Peak. I've also had a chance to hear the aftermarket Akrapovic exhaust, and boy, that was bonkers. It's definitely not road legal, but if there is any exhaust that I would get for this motorcycle or any accessory that I would get for this motorcycle, it's that. The layout compared to the stock also looks entirely different, with those quad pipes kind of feeling like a machine gun or something, whereas on the aftermarket one it's a bit more subtle. It's a bit more think of MV Agusta in a different layout. And by the thumbnail you might already know that we have a special guest, Sagar Sheldekar, on our channel. We speak sometimes on Instagram or on WhatsApp. We also met at Thailand, where we went to the MotoGP event. In case you're wondering why my voice is shaking, it's this cement patch which is a bit bumpy, but kya view hai yaar, kya view. Imagine having a DIAVEL parked in the night and overseeing the city with full lights. Does it remind you of any movie? Let me know in the comment section. The second most thing you'll notice is how light this is. I've never ridden a DIAVEL before, but when I first sat on this, I was assuming it to be slightly on the heavier side. But when you're riding it, this feels so nimble, man. Considering the dimension of the rear tire, the way this turns is crazy. Another thing that you would notice is this small 5-inch touchscreen. I think on the Multi we have a 6.5-inch touchscreen. While topping up the tank, I realized this has almost the same fuel capacity as my Multistrada. For those freaks who want to take it to Leh, you can take any bike to Leh, guys. It's just a matter of understanding the limits of your bike. Mind you, I kept it in urban mode because when I first got it, this bike was in sports mode and I felt that was pulling too hard. We don't need that much of power for the city. Urban mode really works well. This is a DIAVEL V4, not V4S, so you don't get electronic suspension. It's adjustable manually. Am I on the right route? This feels very battered, but good experience to see how a DIAVEL feels off-road. Not a place where I would like to ride this devil, but I think it's only this stretch. Kya rasta se leke ja raha bhai? I'm just heading to a meeting spot, the first meeting spot where I'll meet Sagar. The priority is to just give you how this bike feels naturally, because that's the most important thing. Specs are for paper. One thing that I noticed, which might not be for all, is the suspension is on the harder side. My last trip to Thamani involved me going through that Lavasa Thamani stretch, thanks to Shiva. I hope I don't get to do that on this bike. This is too precious a bike, and I'm sure that route would have been washed away by now with the recent rains. Lovely house, man. Lovely house just by the hill. So in the short city stretch in Pune roads and here on the Ghat, one thing I'm not a big fan of is the suspension. But the gear shifts are buttery smooth, just like they are on my Multi. I feel that this bike is just my Multi in a different form. That feels more comfortable for touring. This feels like perfectly made for those late night cafe rides, occasional highway runs. If this was tarmac and not cement road, I could have gone a little faster because it's so bumpy and you can feel every bit of it on this bike. This is a power cruiser at the end of the day. This is tuned for those highway runs, like straight roads. But without any wind protection, I'm not so sure how much I would enjoy that, especially after experiencing multi yesterday. Forget about multi, look at the view here. Oh, what a ride, boy, what a ride. For a second when I got up, I was like, why am I getting up at 4:30 in the morning? It's for these views, guys. Look at that. Bonkers. Finally entered the Ghats that I've been waiting for. And if you see, that's my Pikes Peak being ridden by Saga. We'll have a chat once the shoot is done. We are working on something interesting, so stay tuned and make sure you subscribe to both the channels. But what a location, guys. I hope you can see. See how those patches are? That's a scary bit. Slight twist of throttle and you can slide. But when you get a stretch like this, even in wet mode, this bike is bonkers. But look how reflective the roads are. It's like a glass, black glass. But I'm enjoying this ride here. Nice chilly weather, some rain. Unfortunately, I'm not able to shoot much on the GoPro because it's not waterproof. And we have some waterfalls up there. Feels strange to see the devil in the midst of the nature, right? But either way, thoroughly enjoyed the ride. Unfortunately, I couldn't shoot much on the GoPro, but what a ride, man. I probably didn't even test 10% of its potential. It was raining non-stop and there were some sections which were slippery, so I had to be extremely cautious, and that too being this a test ride bike. But what this made me feel is I want to ride this more now in the Ghats when it's dry. I thought my Pikes Peak would be more fun in the Ghats, but I think you'll have so much fun on this. If you have this bike, definitely come to Thamni and have a blast on it, man. I wish it was drier for me to explore the bike, but thoroughly loved it so far. And if you can see in the background, the thick fog and it started raining. But I just wanted this shot of this devil hidden in the clouds right in the middle of Thamni. Man, what a looker. As you can see, the shoot's pretty much done because there is nothing visible, man. Wow. Kind of a nice, interesting, unique experience. Usually I don't like using blinkers, but here it's purely for visibility, man, because I can't see beyond 30-40 feet. Look at the vehicles in the mirror. Outrageous but beautiful weather, man. Beautiful. Perfectly made for the devil. Finally the weather gods have been kind enough and we get a chance to test the potential of this, maybe to a certain extent, like 20 to 30%. But I love the sound of this motorcycle, man. Love it. And obviously it can stop like an anchor. Most of the Ducatis do. Man, seeing these views, one needs to be extremely cautious to focus only on the road and not on the views. I wonder how we missed this route last time when we came to Lavas and Thamni. I expected rain, I expected some cloudy weather, but not to this extent. Luckily, the Gore-Tex worked like 95% of the time, and if you're hearing the voice in the background...
It did not. It did not.
Well, some of the vents were open, man, so that's a reasonable excuse.
Excuses. That's all I hear.
You see the spray? All this was on me. That's my jacket. It was in blue color.
I look so clean because I live right here. So I had the privilege of going and getting all cleaned up and dry, even though we have to get wet again too.
So no point. So we had to go back to the Ducati dealership to drop
Yeah.
our vehicles. Mine for basic checkup because it's getting ready for the trip, and this DIAVEL needs to be returned. Talking about the DIAVEL, what a bike, man! The reason I took this DIAVEL was to see how this feels different when. I mean, it has the same engine as the Multistrada V4 and actually the same gearbox, but the suspension is different, the ergonomics are different, the riding comfort is different. It feels a lot different to experience it, but when you're just focusing on the engine and the gearbox, it feels so similar and it sounds louder. This was a bike that I considered when I purchased it, when I was purchasing the Pikes Peak. Do I regret getting the Pikes Peak instead of this? Nah. You haven't ridden a DIAVEL, the new V4 yet, right?
No, not yet.
But does it excite you to see or to get a test ride?
I mean, the old DIAVEL, I did not ride the. There was one with the forward foot pegs. Thank God I did not ride it.
The S, right?
Yeah, but no, it was called something.
XDIAVEL.
XDIAVEL, right.
Yes.
I did not ride that, but the one before that I rode, and I loved it to bits. And now, especially with this engine in the DIAVEL,
Yeah.
I think it makes for a very potent concoction. It is very unfortunate that you got to experience it
In the rain,
possibly
the muckiest weather.
the wettest day that Pune has had in a while.
Shit. I thought I was lucky for Pune yesterday when I saw the
Yeah,
sun.
yesterday when we were discussing the ride, I'm like, oh my God, you got good weather with you. Yeah, so much for that. But no, I'm very curious to ride it. There was no way I was going to swap the Pikes Peak for that today.
Yes, so for context, today he was riding the Pikes Peak. So if you want to know what his ride impressions are, you need to watch out for this channel. In case you haven't already subscribed, go check it out.
Yeah.
Lovely content.
But then tell me something in terms of, was it the comfort part that you felt that, of course,
For
with
me,
the
it's
Multistrada having more.
it's more about the handling. I felt I enjoyed the multi-handling because maybe it's the forged rims which made it so light to turn. This felt heavy. I mean,
It's
not
the
in
rear-
terms of weight. It's just whenever you
the
leave.
rear tire.
Yeah,
Such a
whenever
massive rear tire.
240 section, man.
What about the suspension? I mean, we went through everything, right? We went
So
through twisties.
funnily, maybe it's me getting used to the motorcycle now, but in the morning I felt it was one of the hardest suspensions that I've ridden,
okay.
especially on these cement stretches that you get till Thamni.
Yeah.
But on the way back, when you go up little faster, those are all kind of absorbed. The dampening was perfect.
Yeah, and you did not really get
I-
a chance to touch anything, right?
I mean, in the morning I was in the urban mode. Later I
No, in terms of this doesn't get any
this
active
has
suspension.
no, this is fully manual.
So and you did not really get a chance to play around with
we
it.
it's stock as it is. I think the rear is an Olin suspension,
Yeah.
but I didn't tweak any of the suspension.
So
and
there is scope there.
there is a lot of scope. I mean, you can customize it obviously.
Okay. I think you would have a much different opinion of it when you ride in the dry. Because I remember distinctly being quite intimidated by the size of it the first time ever I swung my leg over it on the
Okay.
previous iteration. But then when I rode it, it was like magic because the weight just disappeared. And yes, the flat rear tire meant that you had to put a little more input on the handlebar. But once you pick up speed, it was actually a lot of fun to ride.
That is something to look forward
Yeah,
to.
you'll have to
terms
ride
of
in the
how
dry.
it's dry and how it handles. But what I loved is, I mean, this might be same case with the multi. Whenever you want to overtake, just the quick shifter and the
Right.
way this accelerates this engine, I just love that. The feel that you get when you do that has a different experience. And I think in terms of engine note, this has a different charm to it. The vibes kind
Yeah.
of make it more connected.
Yeah.
On the multi, I felt maybe a bit numb initially, but after seeing how you ride and how loud my bike is, I might change my opinion. I think you enjoyed it. It looked like you had fun.
I did not push. I'm going to be honest. Did I have fun on it? Absolutely, because that's the engine. I mean, there's so much torque, there's so much power that it's almost impossible for you not to have fun. But I was nowhere close to experiencing what Pikes Peak, that badge, brings to the table, yeah? In terms of handling, in terms of braking, in terms of even that race map. I got a glimpse of it
That's something to look forward to in the future on a track or something.
on better tires.
Better tires,
Not
yes.
STRs, thank you.
Well, if you haven't been following already, that I've changed the tires. In fact, I added a bit more weight on this. People usually go the backwards in terms of removing weight, but I added more weight. But that's all for the upcoming trip. So stay tuned. Make sure you click that subscribe button and the bell icon to get instant notifications whenever we upload something interesting. And as I promised, this is the craziest collaboration one can imagine. Thank you for spending your day.
You are the crazy one to lend me your bike speed, brand new,
So
1600 kilometers in this kind of rain.
And this is the first time we have done something like this.
Yeah.
So I'm already looking forward to that video, man. I think we had conversations of how scenic that location is, and seeing this bike with this livery, I think it's gonna look really good in that background.
I'll let you decide.
Chalo, that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and in case you're watching tonight, have a good night. Take care. Bye bye.